Hello, thank you for joining me today. If this is your first time joining, welcome. My name is Olivia. I am the Advocacy Helpline Coordinator here at Day 1. This is part 3 of our 4-part gentle yoga series for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We'll be practicing for 30 minutes today, and you're welcome to practice on a mat. If you don't have a mat, you might practice in your bed or perhaps on a soft, comfortable surface. You could practice in a chair as well if you'd like. And we'll take a moment here to gather any and all supports that would feel comfortable for you for your practice today. So that might be a block. If you don't have a block, you might take a small pillow. If you have a blanket, you're welcome to use that for some warmth or extra cushion. And then maybe you grab a bolster or a larger pillow if you'd like. So you could pause here to gather any and all supports, and then we'll begin. Whenever you're ready, we'll come to a comfortable seat. And if a seat is not comfortable, that is not a requirement. You're welcome to take any other shape here that's calling to you. You might take a block or perhaps a blanket and put it beneath your sitting bones to lengthen the spine and lift the hips a bit more from your ground. And we'll take these first few moments to land here as we start to make the transition from our day-to-day lives into this space crafted just for you. If you'd like, you could close the eyes down or perhaps have a soft, unfocused gaze ahead of you. And we'll begin here by slowly bringing the awareness to this space that you're in, perhaps envisioning your body as it meets your mat or your space. Noticing all the points of contact between your body and the earth beneath you. Perhaps feeling the weight of gravity as it gently guides you closer to your ground. You might begin to notice any sounds near or far. Perhaps noticing any smells in your area. You might notice what your fingertips are touching, whether that's anywhere in your body or your mat or the space around you. Perhaps noticing any lingering taste in your mouth. And I invite you to start to bring ease into your body here, perhaps relaxing anywhere that you might be holding on to, whether that's in the shoulders, maybe rolling them down the back, perhaps unclenching your jaw or softening the roof, or rather the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Softening any of the facial muscles here. Knowing that there's no need to rush or do, that you've already made it. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, is arriving here and crafting this time and space for yourself after a busy week. So often we are rushing from one thing to the next. My hope for this space is to begin to slow down and give back to you in whatever way that means. You might begin to gently coax the attention to the body, to the inner experience of the body. Perhaps noticing your mind, any thoughts that are coming up. No need to change them, just simply notice them. You might explore turning the thoughts down and the volume of your heart up. perhaps noticing how you're feeling in this moment, physically and emotionally. A gentle reminder that this is your practice, so you're welcome to take what serves you and leave what doesn't. If you're looking for something a bit more active or quicker paced, then please by all means take that. These movements are an offering. They're a gentle, slower paced offering. So again, move at your pace and take what would be most supportive for you in this moment. You could begin to notice the breath here. Noticing what it's like to be breathing as you in this moment. Perhaps notice the temperature of your inhales and your exhales. You might notice where in your body you're breathing. And if it feels supportive, you could place one hand over the heart and one hand over the belly and really tune into these parts of you that are inhaling and exhaling. A lot of the times we are breathing in this fight or flight breath, that chest breath. I encourage you to start to breathe through the belly as we come into this rest and digest breath, calming the nervous system. And it might be helpful to place the hands as so, one over the heart, one over the belly, and as you inhale, perhaps noticing the belly inflate almost like a balloon. And as you exhale, perhaps noticing as the belly slowly relaxes down. You could take a few more breaths just like this. Really starting to bring awareness into the diaphragm, this belly breath. Relaxing the belly here, no need to hold or bring tension to the space. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath, just as you are. Breathing in, inflating the belly, and out, letting it go. On your next inhale, if your eyes are closed, you could gently blink them open. Perhaps bring the palms down to rest on your knees or down by your side body. And just taking a moment here to pause. And we'll begin by incorporating what's known as EFT, or the Emotional Freedom Technique, otherwise known as tapping. It is a series of gently tapping on different parts of the body, different meridian lines, different acupressure lines, to gently calm the nervous system, send positive signals to the brain, and hopefully ground us in the present moment. I'll be guiding you through, so you're welcome to watch or take a moment to listen along. But wherever you are, we'll find a comfortable seat. If that's not comfortable, you could also do this lying down or from any other shape where you have access to the front line of your body. And you could keep your eyes open or closed for this, whatever feels safe and comfortable. But we'll begin by gently tapping on what's known as the karate chop point, or that line along the pinky down the palm. So you could point with, or rather tap with any of your fingers, perhaps a pointer and the middle finger. And we'll just gently start to tap on this point. It doesn't matter which hand, perhaps your dominant hand you're tapping onto. Just gently tapping along this karate chop point, the outside of the edge of your palm. And I invite you to simply notice your breath here, perhaps notice sensation of tapping on this part of your body. Releasing the need to perfect or control, releasing all judgment here. Continue breathing just as you are, gently tapping. Whenever you're ready, we'll switch to the next point, which is just above the eyebrows. And we'll use both hands here to tap, perhaps tapping with the pointer and middle finger, just gently tapping on the space right above your eyebrows. Continuing to focus on the breath here, perhaps noticing any sensations that start to arise in the body. Whenever you're ready, we'll switch to the next point here, which is just outside of the eyes, along the temples. Gently tapping on the temples here. Continuing to breathe naturally. On your next inhale, we'll slowly start to tap beneath the eyes, right on the cheekbones. And from here, we'll start to tap beneath the nose, above the upper lip. You're welcome to just use one hand here to tap. And as you're ready, we'll move to this space beneath your lower lip, above your chin, gently tapping this space here. And you could tap as quickly or slowly as you'd like. And in your own time, we'll move to the next point, which is directly below your collarbone. So we'll take both hands here, gently tapping beneath the space, beneath your collarbones. Simply noticing how the body is feeling in this moment. If anything is arising in the physical space or the mental space. From here, we'll begin to tap beneath the armpits. And our last spot is the crown of the head, gently tapping with one hand in the center of your head. And on your next inhale, allowing the hands to come down, either on the body or down beside you. We'll take a moment here to pause, bringing awareness in, and perhaps noticing what that experience was like for you, if anything came up. Whenever you're ready, we'll slowly blink the eyes open if they were closed. And if you have that block beneath your sitting bones, you might remove it now. And we'll come onto our hands and knees here for a moment. Perhaps taking any organic movement here to start to wake up the body, whether that's a sway of the hips from side to side. Or maybe you lower the belly and lift your gaze up any amount. And arching the spine, tucking your chin to chest, pressing the earth away from you. You're welcome to take a few rounds of organic movement at your own pace. And then from here we'll find stillness. And I invite you to bring the big toes to touch and perhaps walking the knees out a bit wider than the hips with distance. And you could take a block here and place it beneath the sitting bones once more. Or you could even bring a blanket and layer this right under your sitting bones. And from here you will walk the hands out any amount in front of you, and you could stay elevated like so, perhaps pressing through your palms. Or if you'd like, you could slowly start to guide your chest and your forehead down towards your mat or your space. If you'd rather bring your forehead onto a prop, you could place a block or blanket beneath your forehead to bring the earth a bit closer to you. And we'll be here for a few breaths, so notice as you arrive any extra supports that you might need, any extra movements or things that'll ensure that you're comfortable here. You might close the eyes down and have soft gaze. Perhaps bringing awareness back to your breath. Acknowledging what it's like for your body to meet this shape and how this shape is meeting your body in today. If you'd like, you could stretch the fingertips a bit farther away from your body, noticing how that might change any sensations. Or perhaps you massage the forehead by gently rocking the head back and forth. Allowing the torso to grow heavy, softening anywhere you might be holding tension or tightness in the body. You might walk the hands up and over to one side of your mat. And as you do so, maybe noticing a slight stretch or sensation in the side body. I invite you to root down through your palms and your sit bones. Continuing to breathe naturally. On your next inhale, we'll walk the hands back through center. And if you'd like, you could walk the hands up and over to the opposite side. Perhaps rooting the palms down. Pressing the hips back. Inviting softness wherever you can. As you're ready, we'll walk the hands back through center and slowly come up to sit on the shins. You're welcome to keep that blanket or block beneath your sit bones. And perhaps you guide the knees a bit closer towards one another. You could bring your palms to rest on top of the thighs. Taking a moment here to pause in the in-between. Perhaps noticing this long line from your sit bones, up your spine, through the crown of your head. Allowing the shoulders to relax away from the ears. You might notice here if you've begun to clench the jaw again. If you'd like, you could rock from side to side on the shins, massaging out the tops of the ankles, tops of the feet. Whenever you're ready, we will come to sit on our sit bones, and we'll start by bending the knees, planting the feet in front of us. And taking a moment here. And then as you're ready, we'll bring the soles of the feet to touch with the knees gently splaying from side to side. And you could walk the feet in any amount, closer to your body for a deeper sensation, or perhaps farther away from the body for something a bit more gentle. And you might take a hold of your ankles here or anywhere on the body that's comfortable. And you're welcome to find stillness, so perhaps just finding stillness here and taking a moment to pause. Gently opening in the hips, lengthening through the spine. Or if you'd like, you might bring some movement here, whether that's a flapping in the legs, or perhaps a fold forward, however far is comfortable. You could even bring your blocks or your props and stack them here to bring a bit more support beneath your forehead. Breathing into any sensations that start to arise in the body. And we'll take 3 full runs of breath here. And on your next inhale, you could slowly walk yourself back up if you folded forward. You might bring your palms to either side of your knees and gently fold them in like the pages of a book. Perhaps wrapping your arms around your shins, coming into this tight ball. You could even tuck your chin to your chest. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come onto our backs. So you might remove your props to one side if you'd like them later in the practice. As we arrive, you're welcome to bend in the knees and plant the soles of your feet into your mat. Gently pressing the sacrum and the low back into the ground. And we'll walk the feet out towards the edges of our mat or our space. So just a bit farther than hips width distance, allowing the knees to knock in towards one another. And you might place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly once more. Noticing the rise and fall as you breathe in and out. And you're welcome to stay here in stillness. Or if you'd like some movement, you might begin to sway your knees from one side to the other, massaging out the sacrum and lower back. And take one more on each side, and then come back to center. From here, you can walk the feet back in to about hips width distance. And then we'll take the soles of the feet to touch and allow the knees to relax out, just like we did seated, but this time it'll be on our backs. And so you might bring your blocks or supports beneath your knees here. You could take any setting or any height there, allowing the ground to be a bit closer to your body. Perhaps noticing all parts of the body that are in touch with the mat. You might notice the weight of the body pressing into your space. Perhaps noticing if the breath has changed at all since we started practicing. Whether that be a longer and smoother breath or perhaps shorter and more jagged. No, there's no need to judge or change here, just simply guiding our awareness to the breath. You might notice if your mind was a body of water, what would it look like? Would it be smooth and still like a pond? Would there be some ripples like a river? Or perhaps it's more like an ocean in this moment with waves coming in and out. 3 more rounds of breath, wherever you are. On your next inhale, you could bring the palms outside of the knees and gently guide them in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins, giving yourself a squeeze, perhaps rocking from one side to the other. And we'll start to prepare for our final resting pose, and that could be any shape that's calling to you, whether that's on your back or seated or something else. And taking any and all supports or additional movements to support you in getting to this shape. Wherever you are, allowing the body to soften and find ease and comfort in this moment. Know that rest is deeply personal and will look different for each of us. I invite you to bring awareness to the crown of your head, perhaps noticing the space around your head. Noticing the forehead, perhaps relaxing the brows, softening the eyes, any amount. Noticing the nose and the temperature of your inhales and exhales. Bringing awareness into the jaw, perhaps softening the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And bringing awareness into the space around your ears, perhaps noticing any sounds you're hearing near or far. Plugging the shoulders away from your ears, perhaps softening them down your back. You might breathe into your heart space here, bringing awareness into your chest, ribs, belly. Noticing your hips rooting down into your space. Sending awareness down both of your legs, out both of your ankles, to your feet. You might notice the front side of your body and the back side of your body. You could bring awareness to the left side of your body, your left arm, left leg, and the right side of your body, your right arm, right leg. We'll take these final few moments for a well-deserved rest. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. But as you're ready, perhaps bringing some movement back into the fingers and toes. Maybe taking a full body stretch. Almost like you're waking up for the first time in the morning. And in your own time, with no rush, come back up into your seat. You could bring your palms to heart center and gently press the thumb knuckles into your heart space. And sealing out our practice here with one final breath, breathing in through the nose, letting it go. Perhaps bringing the thumb knuckles to the space between your eyebrows, your forehead space. And thank you for taking the time to practice with me today. And go with peace. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, thank you for joining and take care.